Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video we are going to learn about activation track. So in timeline we have certain features of timeline like animation track, activation track, etc. So let's see how we will do that. I already set up the environment and other things as well as per our assets and animations, so that we will not waste the time, because this course is limited and we have to finalize this course within 2 hours. So that's why I will just skip the main thing, and we will focus on the our main target. So here you can see that we have a this window of Unity, and here you can see a timeline feature. Usually this is not here. Generally if you will open first time the Unity, then if you need this feature here, you can go to window and then you can go to sequencing and timeline, and then you will find this feature. We can just add this tab here as well, or you can, if you are easy, you can place it here or anywhere else as per your need. So now you can see that we have timeline, but we have to start creating a timeline. We need a game object. So let's create a game object here, and we can rename this game object. You can name it whatever you want. I will name it timeline. And now you can see that we have this game object. We will select this game object, and now we have a create button. We will just click on create, and we will create our first timeline. So I have created a timeline section here, and here we will just name the timeline. So for example, we will name it the first timeline like this, and now you can see that we have a timeline here. In timeline we can create certain things. If we click here, you can see we have a animation track, activation track, audio track, control track, signal, playable track, etc. So in this first video we will learn about activation track. Also you can see that on this game object we have animator controller, and as well as we have a playable director, which have certain options here. So we'll learn about these options as well. So now you can see that we have this thing, and if we want to create something here, just for learning purpose of activation track, just create some objects. So here you can see that we have a cube. I will just place this cube at this place, and now I will just copy the position of the cube, and let's create a sphere. Let's create a cylinder maybe, and then we can just select sphere and cylinder, and we will just position it at this spot. So let's add this here, and then again we will select this, and here you can see that we have a cylinder, sphere, and a cube. So now how we'll manipulate these. Also you can see that whenever we create something, the timeline feature is gone, and we can't see the timeline anymore. So we can just select the timeline, and we can click on this lock option, so it will be locked. And if we select any other thing, the timeline will stay here. Okay, so now we will create activation track. So let's see what is the usefulness of activation track. So here we can create a animation activation track, and you can see the activation track need a object. So let's add this cube here. So cube is added. We need one more activation track. We will add sphere here, and we will create one more activation track, and let's add a cylinder here. Activation tracks are used for activating and deactivating the objects. So you can see that we have these sections. We can just select these sections, and we can just select this, and let's make it small like this. One by one we can do that, and then like this, and now we can just move it like this and like this. Okay, so now if we play the game, you can see that only cube is activated, and if we play it, you will see that now sphere is activated and this one is activated as well. So if we make it bigger, the cube, okay, so if we play it, you will see that cube, and then these are also enabled. So if we make it like this, you can see that cube and then that sphere and then cylinder is activated. So this is the basics of activation track, that we can activate or deactivate certain things at certain times. Okay, you can see that we can just copy this thing, and at any point we can paste this thing, and then we can move it here maybe, and then if we play, you will see that cube, sphere, cylinder, and again cube. Okay, so now if we play the game, you will see that our camera is not focused here, so we will select the camera and let's make it control shift F to focus at this spot. And now if you play the game, you will see that the timeline feature will work absolutely nice. You can see, that's great. Now you can see that we at this spot our timeline is just stopped because we didn't create a loop. If we want to create a loop, we can just go to timeline feature, and here you can see certain settings. If we go to wrap mode, we can just change it from none to loop, and then if we play the game, you will see that our timeline will be looped again and again. So let's see. Okay, so as you can see that the animation is looping again and again. So these are the basics of activation track, and now we will see that how we can apply this activation track to the practical some practical example.